Man, the privilege of being a Saluki, I would say it means everything.
If you just open up your eyes, I feel like God's trying to talk to you, put people in your life to lift you up and be there and support you or give you inspiration. Kayleb, no doubt, has done that for me.
My life, I've always had to prove myself. I had to prove myself as a kid. I had to prove myself as an athlete in high school. I had to prove myself coming into college as an athlete. I've always had to prove myself. So my condition is it's called amniotic band syndrome. It's a thing that happens in the womb where the umbilical cord gets wrapped around your arm. The feeling I have in my arm, I have like feeling all the way down or whatever, and like towards the end it kind of gets numb because it's just like a big old callus. My mom was always one of those like, can't's not in your vocabulary. You can always do something. That positively affected me, and growing up, like learning how to ride a bike was real hard. Tying my shoes is probably the hardest thing I ever had to do.
The stuff that he had to battle and go through just as a kid, just dealing with kids laughing at him, learning how to tie a shoe, just knowing him as a person and just the obstacle that he had to overcome, man, that inspires me every day.
When I was younger, I told my mom I wanted to play football. And I grew up like very poor and everything, so like we didn't have a whole lot of money. My mom was like, well, if you're gonna, go out there and play football, like you're not gonna quit, and I'm not gonna waste my money. Well, football was like my outlet. Like after I kind of realized, I was like, football is gonna take me places that I couldn't even take myself. So God allowed me to have football and put me on the stage with football that allowed me to reach people, like limb different people or people who are struggling or just anything in general. Like, well, if he can do it and he's got that mindset, then why can't I?
That's the little things that we gotta really focus on.
We were recruiting him based talent alone. You put on the film, it speaks for itself. He's a talented kid. He's a super hard worker. Then when you get to know him, you see all these extra qualities that are unbelievable. And with Kayleb, we hit a home run with him.
He's definitely one of the hardest workers. And, people, because of his disability, people were saying, oh, I don't think he can catch that well. Man, he was going up there, snagging the ball one-handed, catching it reverse. I was like, this guy can play.
To play a skill position with just one hand, catching the ball, carrying the ball, pass protection, and you really just don't even think about it with Kayleb. He just, his whole life, done it in a certain way, and it's just natural to him, how he takes his handoffs and all of that. It's just, it's pretty amazing.
So I think the guys look at Kayleb and just look at a guy that comes to work every day, don't make excuses, and has a positive attitude.
He's a very humble man. Like, he came in here, everybody already knew that he had broken Derrick Henry's rushing record, but never talked about it unless you asked him about it. He's never one to brag or boast about what he's done because he knows there's always more work to be done.
Let's go, Mom! So, and that's Kayleb's story. People keep telling you no. Look him in the eye and just smile, because at the end of the day, you're going to find a way to get it done.
I'll never forget that first game. It was a carry probably on the 2-yard line.
Yeah, in the first game of the year, his first college game ever, as a true freshman.
Kayleb and I were standing next to each other. We're like, man, this is a good game. Like, we might get in. And then sure enough, maybe not even 3 minutes later, Coach Warner's yelling for Kayleb's name, and Kayleb's eyes they open up like a deer in the headlights. And then we're just like, oh, you're getting in.
My hands were sweating. I was nervous. I was shaking because I never really played in front of that many people.
And you could almost feel the goosebumps of the crowd. And it's a goal line. Kayleb's a big boy. He's a strong back.
He initially gets hit in the backfield, and I'm like, oh no, what a first play for my guy.
And like, as I'm looking at the end zone, I was like, wow, there's no way this is happening.
And then he spins right off of it.
And the crowd went crazy, and you saw the jubilation on his face that he had made it.
So everybody's so ecstatic for him, and he doesn't even know how to celebrate. He jumps up in the air thinking somebody's gonna shoulder bump him, and he just falls right down because everybody's just trying to pat him on the head and stuff.
It was exciting for sure. I was happy. I was like, wow, I shouldn't have gave the rest of the ball. I should have kept it. So I first heard about Nubability whenever I was going into my senior year of high school.
Well, I kind of followed Kayleb's story for a while. I'm a big football fan. And then when I saw him all over the news because he broke Derrick Henry's rushing record, I was like, that's a kid I want to talk to.
So Sam had been trying to get a hold of Kayleb. We had talked, and I was able to hook up Sam and Kayleb, and so they were able to get him up here for Nubability.
And they're like, hey, we run a camp for kids with limb differences, and we teach them everyday life skills, and we see your sports story, and we want you to come and show them sports.
And so when I heard about Nubability, I was like, it's a great opportunity to go inspire more kids like me, because if I had somebody like that in my life when I was younger, it would have pushed me even harder, you know, and inspired me even more of like, all right, you know, anything is possible.
It's an amazing, you know, experience as a parent, being able to bring a kid that can surround himself with kids like him and also be coached by people like him too, who have reached the next level. It gives him hope.
And I think like here I find my people, because like when I'm like anywhere I kind of hide my hand, and so like when I'm here I don't like feel the need to.
Yeah, that's really cool, because like you don't see many people like you in your hometown, so it's like fun to come here and meet other people like you.
Everybody acted like a family. Like we all knew each other. We're all there to help each other. One goal is to just make everyone feel accepted, and I feel like they do a great job at that.
My grandma, she was a huge, huge role in my life. And like, you know, that's why I am where I'm at today. The thing I love the most about my grandma is the way she loved. I love the way she like cared about everybody, and you know, she was always trying to make the world a better place. And I feel like I've definitely made my grandma proud from the way I've done things. I definitely want to go be a coach, and I feel like just for that reason is to continue to help inspire kids and, you know, change kids' life. God has hands in everything, and God is using me as a way to help inspire and motivate people. So I know every day I wake up, I'm not doing anything for me. I'm doing something for somebody else.
He's a positive influence, whether you're a young kid looking up with limb loss disability, or you're a kid who has everything, a kid who has nothing. Kayleb just shows you that you can do what you put your mind to.
Okay, Tice.
First day we met to now, I treat him exactly the same. Like I always tell my players, if you rush for 100, I say, why you didn't get 101? You know, if you got 100 on the test, why didn't you get a 105? Where the extra points at? For me, it's just the biggest thing is getting your degree, man, and leaving here a better man than when you came. If you could take that lesson and put it into your life, man, you'll be great.
Yes, sir.
Proud of you, man.
Appreciate it.
It doesn't just make me feel great about myself, but he just gives me a different perspective on life. At the end of the day, everything's gonna be okay. You're gonna wake up tomorrow morning, you're gonna eat breakfast, the day's gonna go on, the sun's gonna be out. I mean, he makes you look at the world differently, that like you can do anything.
So I'd say like kind of like my road's been like some Rocky Road ice cream, but I've kind of, you know, played it out as it was like vanilla. Never let somebody tell you couldn't, because they told me I'd never be a Division I college athlete, and look at me. I mean, I run like I got people to feed and people to take care of, and if you're trying to stop me, then I guess I gotta run through you. When I'm running now, I'm definitely thinking about my grandma. She passed away when I was 15. So everything I do is for her, and I made a promise to her that I'll never mess up. That's why I'm pushing harder to be a better person every day.